Hi, my name is John. I was wondering if you could talk some about life after the apprenticeship. So, how many positions did you apply for? How many offers did you get? How long was it until you got your first paycheck? And then what does career development look like once you're hired? Like, how do you go from junior developer to senior developer? Also, this is unrelated, but why does the software company have an electronics lab?
Oh, okay. I'll answer that while they think about your very good questions. We have an electronics lab because we are not just developers. We are problem solvers, and currently the main way that we solve problems for our clients is through code. But most of us are also tinkerers, and we have hobbies, and we have things that we're curious about, and we like to learn. So the hardware lab was promised to us by our founders. We moved into this building 3 years ago, and the team had a lot of say in the design of the space. So the fact that it's open, that you can move things around, that there's a hardware lab, that there's this big open space that we use for yoga classes and boot camps and all kinds of other stuff, that was all a decision made by the team. So the hardware lab is there because a lot of our team members like to play with hardware. We were given a 3D printer for Christmas one year that is in there. And we now, because we have that interest, this is the cool part. We've had clients come to us and say, hey, you have some hardware people, can you guys build us this really cool hardware prototype? And we can say yes, because we have the ability to do it, and we have the people who have studied and learned and used all that stuff in there to learn how to do hardware stuff. So that's why we have hardware. You guys ready now? All right.
So, okay, you got a few questions. Life after the apprenticeship, and then how many interviews, right?
How many people did you apply for? How many offers did you get? And how long until you got paid?
Okay, so the fantastic thing about this program is you're already getting paid. Once you are done with the apprenticeship, you're already collecting a check, but you're still going to be working for Detroit Labs, hopefully. And so after that, I only went through the one interview, so I got really lucky. I went through, no, I take that back. I went through a couple interviews, but maybe like 3, I think, something like that. But anyway, I accepted that offer, and I've been there ever since. So that's been awesome. Life after the apprenticeship, as far as like learning and work development goes, like it's up to you to like keep learning. Like you're gonna get into this environment. You may be working with other apprentices, or you may not. I luckily was working with other apprentices from the same program that I went through, and so we got to continue our learning together and work on. Some of us worked on the same teams. And a lot of us are still there, and so I'm still on the team with one of the former apprentices, and it's been awesome. I'm also on a team with 2 amazing senior developers who are really patient and like really, really invest in like my learning and want to see me do well, and so that feels really good. So, I mean, I think that I really have gotten really lucky after the apprenticeship because I've been in an environment that fosters learning and that encourages me to keep learning and keep going. So.
They say that there's a living wage for this apprenticeship. What do they mean by that?
Okay, we will come back to that. But what was your last question? And I'm going to pass it on.
Well, also, yeah, just how do you know, like, what's the process to go from I'm a junior developer to I'm an intermediate developer from a senior developer? Like, what?
I will pay you $1,000 if somebody can do that.
I was just about to say, like, those lines are
$1,000, right?
$1,000 for him.
I'll split it.
Split it, he said.
So, okay, and the point, I have to make a point on this, which is I work at labs and services. So things are different if you have an on-site position. But here's services. You know you've made it when you feel ballsy enough to look at the founder and be like, I am no longer a junior. Can I get more money now? That's how you know. And if you don't feel like you can do that, then you're probably. But yeah, so for me it was completely different. I finished the apprenticeship. I was hired into services, so I had a tech interview here.
I don't know what services refers to.
Services refers to, okay, that's weird. So I work in this building for multiple clients that come through. If you're on site, you are staff. Embedded. I was looking for that special word. You're embedded at a client. So I'm embedded here, work on multiple clients, where on site you are at a client working with just that one client. So I had a tech interview here and I was hired in here. And I think last year I was finally made the leap from junior to, there is, like we call it proficient, just, you're no longer a junior developer. But again, that process is kind of, you really have to own that. No one's
really checking for you, and if you let yourself float under the radar, you probably will. Yep.
Thanks, Chad. Deltas were the most recent class, and I think a bit of a unique situation. But since you asked, I'll delve into it. So I did 1.5 interviews. I won't get into the half one because I don't feel like it's super duper relevant, but it did. I don't know, it's super weird. Anyway, I did do one. You don't want to know. So I did do one full interview with the client who's paying for the program, and that one went really, really well. And I ended up getting placed right before the end of the apprenticeship. Now, I think this is unique to our class, but we had, gosh, probably 3 months after that we still were coming into this building every day on apprentice pay before I actually got to go on site and go work for that client. Which was pretty brutal, right? I mean, when you get placed, you start going, great, I can start making these plans, all this stuff, but you don't actually get your full salary until you actually start working at a client and start billing hours. So that was really, really tough for me too. And I mean, I think anybody here in that situation would, we were all getting pretty impatient, but it ended up working out. And I'm working on stuff now that I literally cannot tell any of you about. It's actually super duper top secret, but it's super cool. It's cool. When you say transition from junior to senior and anywhere in between, I have no idea, man. I think you kind of probably at labs, obviously there's a certain process here in house, and I think as a contractor or whatever it is on site, you just kind of start proving yourself out that way. I think there are raises after 6 to 12 months. You just have to prove yourself to the client that you're working for. You add value to them. And they will come back every 3, 6, and 12 months to Detroit Labs and say either how great you are, how average you are, or get this person the hell out of my office. And let's hope it's not that, but your pay will be based on that if you're on site. So it's all merit based. So
is it different if you're? So I mean, it sounds like if you're on site, not on site. If you're services, somebody at like second code, does it get reviewed by somebody at Detroit Labs or somebody at the company you're working for? It's something on site would have to be from the company you're working for reviewing your code.
Yeah.
How do you know if you're doing it wrong? Like who says no, this is a better way to do it?
It depends on what team you're on, but yeah, I mean, you'll find that every software development team, in my experience at least, has their own way of doing things. But generally speaking, whether you're working on site for a client or you're working in-house here, you're always going to be going through basically the same development workflow. I don't know. I guess some people may, judge your performance based on how much code you're shipping, how good your code is, or probably just your overall contribution to the team. But specific to that question, I think pretty much all teams do it the same way, right? If you're in a good team, we get sometimes really honest feedback, but it's pretty much the same. Check in some code, fix it. If there's anything to fix, pick up the next ticket.